We're stoked, man. What a successful, Erin can speak to it. She's been trying to, by the end of this interview, if you will let me, I will join Cameo, but she's been trying to convince me to get on this platform for a long time, righty?
All the time. Troy Aikman is the one. We were in a meeting room in Minnesota getting ready for a Vikings Thursday night game. And he's like, hey, Erin, you ever heard of a thing called Cameo? And I was like, what is this? Mike Pereira was right there. I mean, he was ready to throw a flag. And I got invested. And I've been trying to get this beauty on for a year and a half. And she doesn't listen, Steven. She just doesn't care. You care, but you don't get it.
If I can't convince her to come on by the end of this interview, then I shouldn't be CEO anymore.
Exactly.
Cameo is a marketplace where we help fans connect with tens of thousands of the most exciting people in sports, entertainment, and pop culture. We primarily do that through our first product, which is the Cameo personalized video message. When we had the idea 4 years ago, the idea was the selfie is the new autograph. And, I know plenty of people that have run into you guys over the years because when they meet you, they put a picture on Instagram, and that is better than the memorabilia that's on the back of the wall behind you there. And it really started with the idea that the selfie was the new autograph. And the problem we were trying to solve was, how do you take a selfie with someone that you're never in a room with, that you never actually meet in real life? So the Cameo was a way to basically remove distance as a variable in getting an autograph from someone or getting a selfie from someone.
And it all started with a Seattle Seahawks player, right? Which, by the way, full disclosure, and we'll get into Russell Wilson either staying with Seattle or going to your team, Steven. Charissa, like I said, she's from Seattle. So can you explain how that all happened?
Yeah, that's actually a crazy story. And funny enough, today is the exact 4-year anniversary of us launching.
Congratulations.
So actually, offline, I'll send you guys the tweet that Cassius Marsh, maybe I'll retweet it and I'll tag both of you guys in it today. But I'll show you the tweet that Cassius Marsh sent to actually kick it off. And the story behind Cameo, my grandmother actually passed away. My co-founder, Martin, flew in from Los Angeles for the day to Chicago for my grandmother's funeral. And we were catching up. We had done some movie production stuff together. And we'd always wanted to work with each other again. I was working at LinkedIn at the time, and Martin had decided to become an NFL agent. And his big idea was, if he could find a big defensive lineman that had a big personality, he could get him in movies, because my uncle is a pretty big movie producer. He did Rambo and Conan and Lone Survivor, and he's done a lot of big action movies. So he really felt like if I could sign Cassius Marsh, maybe I could turn him into the next Rock, right? I could kind of backdoor into signing the top movie star on earth. And interestingly enough, Martin could not find any type of off the field income for Cassius Marsh in year 1 and year 2 of being his agent. And in fact, there was a story that went viral back in 2017. Cassius Marsh had his car broken into at the Seattle Seahawks facility, and thousands of dollars of Magic the Gathering cards were stolen out of the back of his car. He put a tweet out and he said, "Hey, 12s, I don't care what you thought was in that bag. What was in there was more important to me than money or jewels or anything else. Just give me my Pokemon cards back or my Magic Gathering cards back, and I won't press charges." So this set off a storm. It was on PTI, it was on Barstool. Everybody's having this crazy time with the fact that a 265-pound jack defensive lineman is freaking out about his Magic the Gathering cards gotten stolen. And Martin tried to get I think it's called Wizards of the Coast, who's a Seattle-based company that makes Magic the Gathering, to sponsor Cassius Marsh. And they wouldn't do it. They're just no. And it's funny because today, cards are so hot, NFT, you think of all this stuff, all the things that people were nerding out about 4 years ago that couldn't move. Now Cassius Marsh actually is open to Card Shop and has a whole thing going. But at that time, Martin was so frustrated that he couldn't find any off the field income from this guy. And ESPN had a 30 for 30 that year called Broke that came out. And in the documentary, it said that 80% of NFL players go broke 5 years after playing their last game. This is a problem I passionately cared about. I was an athlete at Duke. I have a lot of friends that made the NBA or made the NFL, but not all of them had the 15, 20-year career. And a lot of them, one story in particular, I have a really good friend who months after winning the national championship in 2010 texted me to ask if I could Western Union him $300 because, the NBA was in lockout. He didn't get drafted. Like all this stuff was happening. And a couple months earlier, he was selling out, the Indianapolis stadium at the national championship, cutting down the nets. Right. So I was always this was something that was really personal to me because I had friends that had been through it. But this whole idea of being able to delight somebody without like interrupting them personally. Like how many times have you guys been sitting in restaurants and you see your fans are staring at you and like, they might work up the courage to come and talk to you. And like, you'll take the picture when you can, you'll sign the autograph when you can, but sometimes you're having a conversation and you just like can't be bothered. And then everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, like Erin, I walked up to her in a restaurant and like, and she was so mean that she didn't like.
Yeah.
So mean. She's such. Meanwhile, I've had 4 drinks and I know it's wrong to talk to people. Right. It's like give me a break here.
Yeah, like I saw them in the bar and like they wouldn't. So they're such bitches. They wouldn't talk to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we wanted to end that because if you can sit in the comfort of your home, you can go and serve more. Delight more of your fans. And it's such a magical moment. Like Erin, you've seen some of these reaction videos that people get. Like 30 seconds of your time could be the best moment of that person's day or the best moment of their life. I remember one case that I'll never forget. Early on Cameo's history, Brett Favre had made a commercial for this girl who was the heiress of a major company in Wisconsin. Her father passed away, and at her wedding, she would go to every Packers game with her dad. At her wedding, Brett was like, your dad's so proud of you. Like, I'm sorry he's not here, but like, hopefully this is there. She's bawling at the greatest moment of the greatest day of her life was a Brett Favre cameo.
Stephen, approximately how many people do you have on Cameo right now?
We have just over 40,000.
Okay. Well, just over 40,000 plus one. Consider it done. I will finally do it. You've closed the deal. I will give Erin the referral. And again, I'll charge $1 and I'll donate it all. I don't care. But can I dress up in like a costume every now and then? Because I'm big on like
whatever you want. This is, your fans want to see the authentic version.
Well, that's a big mess. I'm authentically a mess. So like if I like go into costumes or like, day of the week, St. Patrick's Day, a leprechaun, like I'm really into themes. So, if I can do that, I'm all in.
Well, yeah, we'll get the St. Patrick's Day special tomorrow. People might be fighting over your rookie cards, your Cameo first, your first one. So we should do.
I'll never forget my first.
That's hot.
I love it.
I'm going to get crazy on my Cameo now. If that's how we get people.
Stephen Galanis, we appreciate your time. Congratulations to you, to Devin, and to Martin on an incredibly successful company that's just getting started. Really a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Love you both. And so happy to have both of you in the Cameo family.
I'm on Cameo. Erin, it finally happened. I'm on Cameo.
On the 4th anniversary.
It's like happy anniversary.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.